Thanks for coming. Just a statement on behalf of Bridget Martin, Ty's mother. On behalf of Ty, his brothers Jay and Shay, our wider family, I'd like to express our immense gratitude at the outpouring love, support and care everyone has given us. From Darwin to our hometowns of Warrabara, Laura and beyond, we have been truly touched by the way the community has braced us. What has happened while Ty was doing what he loves, playing footy, is a mother's nightmare, but the hurt has been made easier thanks to the Darwin Football Club, NT Thunder, AFLNT, the dedicated hospital staff, plus Ty's many friends and junior footy club. Following surgery in Perth last night, I am pleased to report that he is in good spirits, joking with his brother and showing the usual signs of hunger, which I am used to. We will now await the doctor's instructions before making any plans for the future. Again, thank you all for your thoughts and wishes. Bridget Martin.
The Darwin Buffaloes Football Club is deeply saddened by the incident. I've spoken to his mum Bridget yesterday and extended our best wishes, support to Ty's family, to the parents and the rest of the family. She was very pleased and heartened to get the call. She wanted to extend a big thanks to the Darwin football community, AFLNT, St John's Ambulance, all the personnel, our medical staff that attended to Ty on Saturday, all the medical people that were, quickly responded to the incident and provided the appropriate support to Ty whilst waiting to get him up to the hospital. So she was very appreciative of that, and she just wanted to extend a big thanks to the Darwin community, the football community, and everybody that's played a very important role to get to where we are right at this very moment.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking. I think it's pretty shocking for people who watched it, who played it. You can see we've got people here who work for us. You've got another person from another club. It's shocking. Yeah, it's not great. History will tell you that any league, any competition, anything in the AFL where people require support and help, we're pretty bloody good at. And we've had an instance over the last 12 months that I've been here where I've seen that happen. We met as a football industry on Sunday morning and had a good discussion for a couple of hours about what's next. We've thrown our full financial support around the family to make sure that the right people are in Perth with him, and we've made sure that that's come at no cost to them. And to Paddo's point, as soon as we get through this pretty tough period, we'll consider what is appropriate and what the family's wishes are, and we'll do everything in our power to continue to support them. But we're a pretty tight-knit group, and there's a lot of argy-bargy, and you see a lot of crap that sits in a lot of different arenas, media included, but when the real stuff happens, we're pretty well connected, and Paddo and Maddie and the Buffs and the other clubs in the league will get together and do the right thing.
Ty has dislocated his cervical spine between the 6th and the 7th vertebrae. It's what we call a bifacet dislocation, which means that both of the joints supporting the spine have dislocated. In that process, he sustained an injury to the spinal cord at the same level. This has resulted in him losing a lot of movement in his hands, and at the moment all of the movement in his lower legs. What that means is at the moment he cannot walk or perform any voluntary movement in his legs, and with regards to his arms, at the moment his hands do not work properly, but he still has movement of his shoulders and elbows. This is a serious injury, and you can't reliably predict where Ty is going to be in 6 to 12 months' time. We can say with some confidence is that there is certainly a long road ahead of him. He's looking at possibly up to 6 months of rehabilitation. Whether or not he will walk again can't at this stage be determined. He's still technically in what we consider to be spinal shock. and that is a situation in the first 72 hours post-injury where all voluntary movement is lost, but after which some spinal cord function may return. The rehabilitation is very intensive. It is daily treatment by multiple allied health specialists. This includes physiotherapists, occupational therapists, registered nurses, and medical staff as well. He will need a lot of gym work, a lot of mobilisation of his joints to maintain their mobility. I think there is some hope. There is no value in losing hope at this stage. Beau Chatley is now walking after a very similar injury. Certainly Tai needs to maintain a good mental strength for the challenges he has ahead of him. Well, Tai will need ongoing support and comfort from his mates at this time. He's got a very tough time ahead of him.
One thing that he done is he changed our culture. By the way, he's just came in and bought into what Darwin footy was all about, but also what the Darwin Buffaloes stood for. And you ask anyone around town, he's been out umpiring the under-16s games. He's run water for the women's. Team managed for the Division 1. This is from a guy who's been with our footy club for 6 months. Once a Buffalo, always a Buffalo. That's our motto, and that's where we've always been. Whether you played one game or you play 100 games, and in this instance, Ty's played 12 games with us. So, once he's a Buffalo, we'll look after him. We'll always be there for support, and obviously, the playing group are very eager to get around him and either get him back up, or we get down there and see him, in whenever we're down there, and that's something we'll look at in the future. But like John said in the statement yesterday with the AFLNT, hopefully we can get the whole family back here one day to watch a Darwin Buffaloes game, and they can really see what brought Tai to Darwin and why he was so eager to stay up here and what he fell in love with.
He reckons the best club that he's going to put on the boots for is the Buffaloes, because there's that sense of feeling and family that Matty alluded to, and it was since that day on. Look, he's just a sensational player.